Hello, Dr. TC from Lysippus, PA here, and I'm going to demonstrate in a number of videos some of the rules of APBA golf and some easy ways to interpret and enjoy this great game. Let's start with the importance of finding the correct side of the fairway with the tee ball. We need to drive it in the correct side of the fairway to get a good angle at our pin. So we'll take a look at two shots, position 1 and 2, and maybe we'll play a shot into the green using this 1960 Arnold Palmer all-time greats card. It's one of my favorites. It was one of the few sets that I did for APBA, and it has 20 great players. I love the formatting. It was the first time we had the master symbols on the cards, which adds so much fun to the game. But let's use the classic one-sided APBA card today. Okay, so we have two shots in the fairway at this beautiful 13th at APBA National, a long 481 yards, par 4. Let's get a bird's eye view of this so we can see it better. Well, that's a bird's eye view if I've ever seen one. How about that? Arnie's driven the ball 300 yards in position 1, and he's 15 yards to the right of the center line in the fairway. This means he is going to have very nice access to pins 2, 3, 4, and 6, because he is on the right side of the fairway, and the right side of the center line more specifically. And these 4 pins are on the left side of the center line. He's going to have good angles to these pins. 2, 6, and 4 are very clean, and 3 is just nasty no matter where you are. So Arnie, when shooting for these pins on the left side of the center line with him on the right, he's going to be able to aim. And he can move the marker anywhere and use any of these parallel lines running along the center line. He may decide to come over here and aim right at pin 2. We'll use that one for now. Or he may just use the center line. Now, if he does move in the new APBA game, to correct distances from the old game, we charge 5 yards for every 15 to get back to the center or to get to your new origin line, your new target line. So 5, 10, 15, that would be 5 yards, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 75, 125, 50, 60, 70, 180 yards to get level with pin 2. And if he chooses to, he could aim along this parallel line. He probably wouldn't, though, because he'd have to go over the bunker. It's not going to be perfect. It's a board game. We don't use diagonals in APBA. We have maintained the integrity of the original orthogonal design, the grid system of the original game, and so the angles are not always going to be perfect. And this was one of the reasons I wanted to introduce this good angle, bad angle attack to the pins, because it adds much realism to the shot. Now let's stay with position 1. What about pins 5 and 1? Not too good. See, Arnie is on the same side of the center line as those pins. He's on the right and they're on the right. The angle to 5 isn't terrible, but if you were to try to aim at it, you'd likely find the bunker, and shooting to number 1, you'd have to cover almost all that bunker to get there. So Arnie's going to be forced to go back to the center line and play that from the center line no matter what if he shoots to 5 and 1, and that's a penalty for having a bad angle. Most golfers would take a safer, more prudent decision to shoot towards the center line, and that is the penalty for being on the incorrect side with a bad angle.